What's going on, guys? I'm Christopher Toro, and welcome to Glorified Games, the channel where we talk about game-related things and sometimes other stuff. Besides anything in Sonic Forces, there's one thing that has been bugging me. It's the character Infinite, and how simple he was and cliche he was to the story. Infinite was handled poorly, and I was not at all impressed with who the character actually was. The only thing I actually did like was the first boss battle with him, and that's about it. So I've come up with a list of things that would make Infinite a better villain. And of course, like always, if you have some suggestions, let me know. So the first and foremost issue I had was Infinite's origin story. It dulled the character and made him seem like a nobody, because he was. And that's the first impressions we get of him through the Shadow episode DLC. It had me thinking what would make Infinite a lot more interesting was if his origin derived from the Phantom Ruby directly. That would make him a lot more mysterious and intimidating for Sonic, because one, there's a chance that he's not even a living thing, and second, if he can withstand being created from the Phantom Ruby, then who knows what else he can handle. But if not making his origin story come from the Phantom Ruby, the least they could have done is added more depth to his character and why he was the only animal on Eggman's team besides all those robots. There should have at least been more elaboration as to whom he was, besides just this random enemy that fought Shadow one day and lost. And I get the idea, he could have been just an OC that turned even worse after he lost. And besides the OC character becoming good, it's like Infinite represented us and how he's a nobody that came out of nowhere and became something powerful. But instead of working with Sonic, he's working with Eggman. So I get that idea of it, but the way they introduced him made it seem like he was somebody and not just an OC or just a random nobody. And introducing him as a nobody kind of dulls his character no matter how you look at it. When you introduce a character like that, it dulls them for the rest of the experience, and it wasn't made clear that he's a nobody for a purpose. So deepening his story would have added some value to him. Now the second thing that would make his character a lot better is if Infinite used the villain copies in a better way besides making them cannon fodder or just an army in the background. If Infinite could have influenced or manipulated those characters, mix them or do something crazy with them, that would have made me enjoy his seemingly infinite power a lot more. If they were more creative with it and made him more powerful in a way that he teleports Sonic, something like the Metropolis stage where he alters gravity, and besides that display of what he could do, his powers were mainly an obstacle course for us. And also what would have added more value to Infinite is if he was a playable character for at least one episode or one stage with his own background story, just so we know exactly where he came from and why he's fighting on Eggman's side. It would have been really cool if we could have played as him and used his powers, just like how we used the Wispins. And also a better way he could have used his powers is if he knew more personal things about Sonic. If he got in his head, but if he knew something that could really make Sonic disturbed or get under Sonic's skin, that would have made him a lot more different than other characters. If his powers entail that he can read minds or look in the past. And also it would be a lot better if he wasn't such a cliche villain, i.e. giving Sonic a lot of chances to live, monologuing, and being insecure about himself. Even though the name Infinite does scream insecure, it would have been great if he just wasn't that kind of villain, that kind of cliche to the story. You know, like a poor example of what a person should be, as to where he does evil things for his own selfish reasons. It would have been a lot better if he had a kind of big picture reason for doing what he's doing to Sonic. And also if he had deeper dialogue, opposed to just flexing and speaking highly of himself and speaking lowly of others. That's all he was doing pretty much when he was talking to Silver, when he was talking to Shadow and Sonic. That's the only kind of conversation that he was having with those characters. He was too serious to interest me. And the final thing that would have made Infinite a way better villain is if he had another weakness besides friendship. Because, seriously, Sega? Friendship is his weakness? He seemed like a much more personable character than just a random monster that's able to be defeated by just friendship. If he had any other kind of weakness, or if he had no weaknesses at all, and he just threw all 7 Chaos Emeralds at Sonic and told him to try to fight him in Supersonic form. If he was stronger than Supersonic, I would have been happy. If he had any other type of weakness, I would have been happy as well. So guys, let me know what you think would make Infinite a better villain. And thanks for watching, thanks for the support. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.